Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good day to all. Hi, I'm Dr. Nur Adila binti Abdul Latif. I'm from Faculty of Ocean, Technology, Engineering and Informatics, Universiti Malaysia, Terengganu. I prepared this video for Digital Teaching and Learning Innovation Competition. I chose this topic for this competition, COVID-19 E-Teaching Survival Kits Guide for Educators. This is an outline for my presentation today. Some quotation: e-learning doesn't just happen. It requires careful planning and implementation. Quote by Anonymous. As for introduction, during pandemic COVID-19 crisis, educators need to think critically and creatively in order to make sure classes and lectures can be done smoothly and interactively. However, educators need to know their students' well-being, such as their mental and also physical health in this trial time. In the meantime, students' access to internet infrastructure are very crucial too. These e-teaching survival kits are made as a guide for educators in order to cater students' needs during this pandemic. As for the delivery method, educators can choose many online platform learning to share with the students. Some are WebEx, Zoom, Google Meet, or also Microsoft Teams. Educators can share the slides, the poll questions, the anything in using this online platform learning. At the same time, educators can also share the YouTube link and also channel, whether the educators YouTube link or also other educators YouTube link that is available in the Google. The educators can also pre-recorded screen recording using PowerPoint file. I've made them during early session of MCO during March and April before. And also educators can pre-recorded videos. These two types of pre-recorded screen recording and also pre-recorded video, educators can share with students in various platforms such as e-learning platform provided by the university, Google Classroom. They can also share in WhatsApp and also in Telegram for students who has a very limited internet connection. As for the assessment methods, educators can use quizzes. For example, share some questions through OneNote by Microsoft or Google Jamboard and then give them some time limit for them to answer the question and complete the task, and then ask them to share the answer immediately. Educators can also share assignments, for example, upload some questions using e-learning platform provided by the university or alternative platforms such as Google Classroom. I personally like Google Classroom better from e-learning platform. Educators also can can give tests, whether it's a closed or open book test for the students. In my opinion, for the online learning, it's very hard to make sure that the student can do the test on their own because of available Google and also online answers, right? This is quite difficult. But for me, as long as the students get the whatever the lecturers or educators want to share in the class, this is very important. This is the most important thing. This is an example of my Google Classroom. I will share with you later at the end of the video on what I shared in my Google Classroom. Some quotation. Online learning is not the next big thing. It is the now big thing. This is written by Donna J. Abernathy. For the online activities, I like to share with my students some pop quizzes, some Padlet, and also some poll questions from WebEx or Zoom. For example, I shared with my student one Padlet session during our first class, so because I want to know my students a little more. In the physical class, we can ask the student to stand up and also tell about themselves to us. But in the online class, the students sometimes are very shy to turn on their camera. And then by doing this Padlet session, I ask them to share with the class their pictures and also some of their backgrounds, what are their hobbies, and then the students not hesitate to share this. I will share with you the example of the Padlet session that I use in the class. This is to show that this is my Padlet session before. As you can see here, my students comes from various places around Malaysia. For the learning integration, I prepared some flowchart on online teaching. As you can see here, this is some like guidelines of what I will do during the class, okay, and also after the class. All right, I will share the link for online class streaming for the students in advance using the Google Classroom platform or WhatsApp application. And then the class start, I will record the class session. And then if there's a question from students, if there's no question for the student, I would like to engage with student by giving some poll, some pop quiz, and also Padlet session. As well as if the students answer the questions, then I will share with them the attendance Google form, and then I will save it in the Google file, and also after that I will finish the class and then stop the recording session, and then we'll upload the recording session to the YouTube link, and then get the shareable link, and then we'll share it with the class. This is my attendance class and attendance Google form. I've made this during my last semester class so that I know where is my student and how are their well-being. Okay, this is the example of what I asked in the question in the Google form. Right, I asked the question what students learn in class, the preparedness of the students on the class during that day, how is their internet connection, and how is their well-being for that day. And also, these attendance forms are very good for audit quality later. So as the outcomes of this EPDP session, the students should enjoy the online interactive learning. They can participate actively. Lecturers can keep record online teaching tasks as a proof as a teaching portfolio. This is important for easy access if needed, especially for audit purposes. All right. When the audit from MQA or MBOT comes, they can access the file because we save it in the Google Drive. And then also the YouTube link for students who miss the class. This is the additional info. I've shared with you the YouTube link on online learning ethics for students that I've prepared last week. And also this is the link for the Padlet. I will share with you. Okay. So this is my this is my Google Classroom for engineering mathematics 1 that I teach in this semester for group 3. All right, as you can see, this is my online learning interactive platform. I can share with students any announcement, and then also students can add any comments that they want to add. All right, I can also share the file here in my class, and I also share some assignment for the students, and the students can submit the assignment here, and every assignment that they submitted are saved in Google Drive folder. And this is my students in this class. This is the Google attendance form that I made for my class. Right, I asked them on what's important thing that they learn in class today, the preparedness for the class, how are their internet connection, and also how they feel that day on the class, right? So all this attendance form, I save it here in my Google Drive so that I can open it whenever I like to see what has student understand on my class, and also their well-being. And bonus thing, I have this timestamp here, and this can be approved as a proof for student attendance. I will share with you some scene from whiteboard that I use in my class, right? For example, if students, because I teach engineering mathematics, so it is crucial for me to have a whiteboard so that I can write questions and also show them how to answer the questions. So this is very easy for me. And then at the same time, I can ask the student to annotate on the WebEx session and give me the answer and share it with class. Okay. So I guess that's all for today, and thank you for listening to thank you for watching my YouTube, and also I hope that you guys can benefit from this, and from that I thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.